The email thread is active. It has been active all week. Your name was on it last Tuesday. This week, your name is not on it. The list is shorter by one. You open it anyway. You scroll to the top. You read the subject line. You read it again. The subject has not changed. You have. Your name is not there. The absence is precise. It isn't an accident. You have been CC'd on threads like this for 2 years. You know what it means when you are not. You look at the screen for another few seconds. You're not sure what you expect to appear. You do not reply. There is nothing to reply to. You close the thread. Your other tabs are still open. The project file is where you left it. You begin typing. The work is the same work it was 5 minutes ago. You know something. You have not named it yet. Those are two different things. The knowing is in the body before it reaches anywhere else. That is where it is right now. That evening, you're at the kitchen table. The light over the sink is on. You open the calculator. Not the spreadsheet. The calculator. Savings. Monthly expenses. How many months? The first covers the second. The calculation takes 40 seconds. You run it twice to make sure. You write the number on a piece of paper. You don't write a label beside it. Writing the label would make it more specific than you need it to be tonight. You put the pen down. You leave it in the middle of the table, not at the side. The meeting is in 9 days. A calendar invite arrived that morning. The title said nothing. Invites like this rarely describe what they are. The blank field is its own kind of information. These 9 days belong to a process that has its own timeline. You are inside that process now. Companies give notice before individual terminations. The window exists for legal reasons. During this window, you are still an employee. Your salary continues. You come in. You attend the meetings. You reply to messages. The frame is still on. This is not pretending. The distinction between compliance and pretending is real, even if it feels like the same thing from the inside. Somewhere in the company, there is a document with your name on it. You have not seen it. RIF decisions are made weeks before notification. Legal review comes first. By the time the invite arrives in your calendar, the decision is already old news for them. You were the last to learn what had already been decided. The process is designed to run this way. That is not a conspiracy. That is just the sequence. You decide how to behave for the next 9 days. This takes about 20 minutes. Same arrival time. Same response window. Same posture in the meeting rooms. You will not tell your team. You will not tell anyone in the building. This isn't dishonesty. It is more like running 2 clocks in the same room and only showing one of them. Behavioral consistency during this period matters legally. You know this. You factor it in. Day 1, the alarm at the same time. You get up, you make the coffee. The kitchen is the same kitchen it was yesterday. Inside, a second process has started. It runs underneath everything else. You check the thread before you leave. Closed. You close the app. The loss has not happened yet. The response to it has. That's a documented gap, but it doesn't feel like a gap. You go in. Day 1 begins the way every day has begun. You hold the door for someone behind you. The Q3 roadmap goes up on the screen at 10. 6 months of projected work. You trace the dates silently. You find the date of the meeting inside the first month. Your manager doesn't know you just mapped your exit onto their roadmap. Nobody does. You take notes. Detailed, correct notes. The notes are good. They are for someone else. You do not say that. The sentence stays inside, next to the project ID and the Q4 timeline. Day 3, evening. Personal laptop open on the desk. The last resume version is from 2 years ago. The format is wrong. The dates are wrong. You knew this would be the case before you opened it. You set a 90-minute timer. You will work inside it. This is the rule you give yourself. You update the format. You correct the dates. You add 3 lines for work done in the last 2 years. Not urgent. Precise. The difference between those two is something you are practicing right now. The timer ends. You save the file. You close the laptop. You move to the next thing without looking back at the screen. Day 4. A colleague sits across from you at lunch and talks about a project with a 6-week deadline. You say something useful, specific and correct. You will not be there when the deadline arrives. You don't say that. The unsaid sentence sits inside the said one. It fits without disturbing anything. Maintaining the surface while running something else underneath it has a word. You don't think of the word at lunch. That evening, 3 messages sent, not requests. There is a line between professional contact and contact from a position of crisis. You are on the safe side of it. Once you cross it, the tone of what comes back changes. You have seen this happen to other people. You are still on the right side. You use that while it holds. The messages sound like catch-up. They are catch-up. They are also the beginning of something else. Day 5. Morning. A colleague leans over the partition. They ask if you have heard anything about the restructuring. Word is moving in the building. You say you have heard something. You say it will be clarified soon. Both sentences are true. They go back to their side of the partition. You go back to your screen. The work you were doing before the question has not changed. Something else has. You worked at a company before this one. The building was louder. You sat near a window that faced a parking lot. You are not sure why you think about this right now. You go back to the document. The cursor is where you left it. Day 6. Resource allocation meeting. You are answering a question. Underneath the surface, a second conversation is running. Not panic. Logistics. Where to apply, who to reach. Which timeline is still possible given the current one. Both processes run simultaneously. Neither pauses for the other. You give the correct answer. You are not sure which part of you gave it. After the meeting, you go to the bathroom and stand there for 2 minutes without doing anything. Day 7. Early. You notice you have been counting the days since the invite. Each morning the number arrived first. Day 4, Day 5, Day 6. You decide to stop counting. Not because you forgot, because counting the distance was the distance. You know the date. You don't need to mark how far it is from where you are. You set the counting down. You pick up your key card from the desk before you go out. Day 8. There is a piece of work that needs finishing before you're done. You spend about 3 hours on it. You do it carefully. At 4 p.m. you mark it complete. The timestamp is clean. This work will continue after your access ends. Someone else will carry it. They will not know you finished it carefully. That matters to you in a way you don't entirely understand. You stand up and close your notebook. The notebook is mostly blank. Maybe the last 3 pages have anything in them. That evening, your email signature is on screen, 2 years old. Your name, your title, the company name, 3 things that are still accurate tonight. Tomorrow, the title becomes inaccurate. That is approximately 10 hours away. You close the laptop. You do not edit the signature. You let it stand for its last accurate night. You look at the ceiling for a few seconds after closing the laptop. It has nothing to offer. Day 9. Calendar shows 11 a.m. The meeting title says one-on-one. The meetings on either side of it are still in place. The 10 a.m. did not move. Neither did the noon. Keeping the neighboring meetings visible is part of the protocol. It prevents early signal reading. You know this because you read about it. You know what the configuration means. You have known for 9 days. The environment is just confirming. 11 a.m. is 3 hours from now. You get dressed the same way. Same shoes. Same jacket. Same route. Same arrival time as every other morning this year, or most of it. Day 9 has a morning that looks like all the others. You let it. The performance has a last day. You honor it to the end of the contract. The room is a standard meeting room. 2 chairs on the other side of the table. Your manager and the HR representative from your first week. 2 people plus the employee. You have read about this number in the last 9 days. The door closes. No one has spoken. You sit. Your hands are in your lap. Your face is doing something neutral. The room is the announcement before the announcement. That is the part no one admits. The words begin. Legal language. Reviewed by counsel before today. You recognize the vocabulary. You read versions of it during the 9 days. Different phrasings, most of them close to this one. Position elimination. Workforce restructuring. Role discontinued. None of the language is about you as a person. That is by design, and it is also part of why it feels the way it does. A number. Severance. Stated in weeks. Said once. You register it. You do not ask for a repeat. You heard it. Your internal estimate was off by 2 weeks. The official number is the number now. You run the updated calculation. Something like 4 seconds. The result is still workable. The adjustment completes before the HR representative reaches the next section of what she is reading. There is a pause in the script at this point. The pause invites a response from the employee, a response that functions as receipt of information. You produce the response. It is correct for the context. Producing the expected response is not the same as feeling it. You are doing one of them. The response you produce and the thing you are carrying are 2 different objects. You are holding both. 14 minutes. 1 minute under. You walk back through the open office. The floor is the same floor it was at 10:58. Your desk. Your chair. The screen still on. You sit down. You are not sure why. The body follows the route it knows before the mind adjusts. You sit there for 4 minutes. Then you stand. Then you leave. At 3 p.m., your personal phone vibrates. System's access revoked. The sentence is passive. No one is named in it. A system generated it when a checkbox was checked. Not a person who decided at that moment. A process running on a schedule. This is also how internal communications worked when you were on the other side of the access level. Systems. Automated sends. You look at the phone for another moment. You put it face down on the table. The 9 days were not waiting. You know this now more completely than you did on day 1. 3 messages on day 5. A resume updated on day 3. A calculation run on day 1. Before the official number existed. Work completed cleanly on day 8 that will outlast your access to the system that holds it. These were not reactions. They were decisions made inside a process while operating a parallel one. The 9 days were a runway. You used them. The afternoon doesn't know what to do with you yet. The frame that held the shape of each day is gone. The day is open and you're not sure that's the right word for it. This is accurate. It is not a failure. It is not a symptom of anything other than the transition between two structures. The frame will come back. Different materials, different schedule. It's not here yet. The afternoon is honest about that. You let it be honest.